A very good morning to all our viewers and listeners on GRF WebTV. It's a very good morning to all of you, and it's a pleasure for me to have you on set today with a special program that we announced during the week. We are hosting the MD, the Managing Director of Indian Oil Mauritius Limited, Mr. Sarad Kumar Baranwal, and we also have our own, very own Professor Armoogum Parsuramen, the founder and president of Global Rainbow Foundation. Why this special program for today? We tend to have an idea about what sponsoring is, what donations are, why do we need collaborations, especially when we're talking about the NGO sector. It's a very important aspect that we're going to try to have an idea about and see how organizations like Indian Oil Mauritius is partnering with Global Rainbow Foundation. What are the benefits that it is bringing to the community, the society at large, with the main focus, of course, with Global Rainbow Foundation, having a focus on persons with disabilities. So we are going to have a look at all of these aspects and how important donors and sponsors are. As we know, donors and sponsors are very backbone of NGOs to be able to meet the various activities that NGOs do on a daily basis, to have outreach programs, to get medical facilities, to get limbs, prosthesis, etc., etc. So non-profits must have multiple streams of income, not only so that they can sustain their programs, but also that they are solely not dependent only on private donations, which are also important as well. But I think it is very important to make the point that the collaborations with the society at large, with civil society, with organizations, with private organizations, is of utmost importance. So having said that, it's a warm welcome to Mr. Sarad.
Thank you.
Welcome in our studios. We have been impatiently waiting for you to be in the studios to have this conversation along with our founder, President Professor Armoogum Parsuramen. So I know that you're not really feeling well, but I think you're better today, so that's why we're having the program for today. I have been on your website, the Indian Oil Mauritius website, and I've seen through the activities and mainly on the social part of the programs, of the projects that you do. There is two categories, distinct category, which is one of the green aspects that you go for, and then there are the social aspects of things that you do. So I've seen Global Rainbow Foundation coming up on that particular list, and we know that there has been a huge collaboration going on for years and years. But before we get to that, I would like to see with Professor Armoogum Parsuramen. Most welcome to you, sir, as well.
Thank you.
I know we've been longing enough to have Mr. Baranwal, Mr. Sarad. I think I'll go with Mr. Sarad.
Yeah,
I think it's better. To be on the program, and also there is an event upcoming in the next few days, which I think culminates into what the collaboration is all about as well. So, Professor Parsuramen, good morning, welcome. Just for the viewers, what's the importance of collaboration for Global Rainbow Foundation? Before we talk about Indian Oil specifically, why do you think it is important to have such collaborations?
First of all, let me also join you, Beejaye, in welcoming Mr. Sarad Kumar Baranwal. I would consider him, he's the MD of Indian Oil, but I consider him as a friend, a friend of Global Rainbow Foundation, because ever since he came here, when I paid a courtesy call on him, his doors were wide open. And you can feel the person with his compassion, with his empathy, and whatever I was telling him, sharing with him about what we are doing at Global Rainbow Foundation, I realized on the spot. He got connected to that. And you could feel that he was with us, from his heart. So that first point I would like to say, we are very happy. As Beejaye just told you, we are very happy and honored that you are with us today in our GRF WebTV, and we are going to have this program. This program, Beejaye, as you mentioned, is a very important one.
Yeah.
But more importantly, for us, it's the opportunity to thank to express our gratitude to one very key partner for Global Rainbow Foundation in our mission of serving persons with disability. And so I will come to that later. But for the time being, what I wanted to respond to your question, Beejaye, it's true, non-governmental organization, or what we call civil society, they do a lot of work in the field. They are close to the people, so they know the problems facing people, and we have our focus is on persons with disability. So we are in touch with them. We know what they feel, what are the challenges they face, and so on. And but we as a civil society, we don't have a budget as such.
Exactly.
You know, we don't have budget, so we rely on support from our sponsors. That's why it's very important for civil society to be supported by private funding, by sponsors, you know, who also have a great sense of social responsibility. Under the corporate social responsibility scheme, they do a lot of those support. And for us, this is what enables us to do the service that we are offering. And I must say, in general, civil societies offer the service close to the people and also at very affordable costs. That's one thing we are able to do compared to other organizations. You know, so that has been our motto. And with regards to, generally, I would say, we've been very, very privileged in a way to get the support of quite a number of companies, right? And I would also single out all the Indian companies in Mauritius who have been accompanying us. And we've always had the, I must say, the overall support of the Indian High Commission in whatever we do, because especially in the case of Jaipur Foot, this is from India. You know, and I just want to add, Beejaye, that in addition to what we are doing here at Jaipur Foot, I must say Jaipur Foot is a global provider of prosthesis. It's a unique.
Yeah, we will come to the details about the Jaipur Foot definitely during the program.
Just to say, referring to India, you know, now India has a program for a few years now called India for Humanity.
Yes.
And this scheme, India goes to around the world, in especially country where they need it. And at one go, when they go to one country, they offer at one stretch 500 limbs to amputees. You know, and this is a very, very significant program. You realize what it means. Within 3 weeks, they would cover all these people and give a gift of mobility to those people. So I would just like to highlight the generosity of India. You know, and Jaipur Foot and Global Rainbow Foundation, BMVSS is the organization, and GRF, we joined together as early as 2013, you know, and we launched this program here. So what I would like to say that what we also like to do, Beejaye, in addition to getting the sponsors, the partners with us, we want them to come and see what we're doing. You know, that has been our principle. And Indian Oil has always been present with us whenever we launch any activity, right? And that's why we are very happy to have Mr. Sarad with us today. But also, we are planning something very significant.
Yes, which is next Monday.
And that is an event which I would probably talk about later. But just to say that this is the philosophy we have. You know, and we are happy when the partners are with us. So that we can do things together. And the people, the beneficiaries, could also know who is coming to
forward
them.
to them and helping
with the support.
There is one word that you use, Professor Parsuramen, that I would like to dwell on a little bit. I mentioned collaborators, but you mentioned partners. I think this goes to say how important these relationships are, because we consider organizations like Indian Oil Mauritius and Indian Oil in general as being partners, not only collaborators because of the sponsors and donations that they are giving. So, Mr. Sarad, coming to you, in general, as I mentioned, that you do support many other social activities as well, on top of the green movement that you also have. From a corporate point of view, like an organization, like global organization like Indian Oil, how important is it for you to be looking at the societies, the communities where in the countries where you are present? What is the importance of you being present on the ground and helping the communities on top of of course, you have your corporate responsibilities as well, but also indulging in the social responsibilities. So how important is it, and how deep is it rooted within the Indian oil community itself? So could you please elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, certainly. Thank you so much, Mr. Vijay and Dr. Parsuramen, for such a good, kind words, for generous words about Indian oil and me as well. First, I would like to thank you, both of you, for this opportunity in speaking here. Indian Oil, we are around 60 years old organization in India. We are the biggest PSU. And we are also among the top 100 company when you consider global Fortune 500 companies. So in reaching here, the journey has been very up and down. And one or more, we have been connecting with the society in India and wherever we are. If you talk about Mauritius, so we are here around 21 years old. We are a 21-year young company here. And for us, CSR is one thing. It's not about giving money to an organization. It's basically things like the value we believe in. We look for the organization who share the same value as we do. If you talk about our global organization, that's Indian Oil, so we have got 4 basic values: care, innovation, passion, and trust. And you can see the very first value is the care. So care is not only for our own people, but the society at large, wherever we are. So it has been our constant endeavor to uplift the society, to give back to the society in whatever possible we can do. Whether it be sports, whether it be health, whether it be child protection, whether it be women's protection, whether it's environmental protection. So we try to associate ourselves in such way that our values are aligned. And when we talk about GRF, they are doing such a noble thing. And the good part is they are coming with so many innovations. Like when they started 10 years back, from then to now, in 10 years, the technology has moved very fast. And I'm happy to see. I was here at the center with my family around 1 month back. And we were really impressed the way GRF has improved itself, the way they are doing the prosthesis now. So those things are really impressive. And we talked about it in our organization that, if we talk about technology, that this is the one field where they are doing the social cause, and there also they are not leaving anything behind in encompassing technology to help the people. So this is one organization where we feel that we share the common values, and it has been a constant we are also thankful to GRF and particularly to Dr. Parsuramen for giving this opportunity year after year to associate ourselves with this organization.
It's a pleasure for us. I think it's a pleasure on both ways, as you said. You also mentioned something which is very, very deep, and this is something that Professor Parsuramen, on a daily basis, I can say he mentions, is give back. I know him very well about that particular word, and I think you did mention that word as well, and it's something that goes as far as Indian Oil as an organization itself. So it's the values that are aligned. I'm not saying the stars are aligned, but the values are aligned. But somewhere maybe the stars are also aligned in a certain way that we have partners like you on board. Just for the viewers who are online, you can see the backdrop that we have for our live program currently. You would see there is a lorry at the back, which is actually one of the first sponsorship that we got in terms of the lorry that we currently have. And probably Professor Parsuramen will like to talk a little bit about that event that happened in 2016-15, I think, when the lorry was sponsored and given, donated by Indian Oil. Of course, there were the then directors and people were here, but it's still Indian Oil Mauritius in any case.
Thank you.
So we would like to talk about that.
I would like to add 2 things before coming to that.
Please.
First of all, when we hear Mr. Sarad talking the values of Indian Oil, this is very, very important. And you could see an organization who is not only looking after money, business, profits. you're also caring for the people.
Yes.
And it's our duty to do so.
Mhm.
You know, we should prosper, but in the prosperity, we should serve the other people. And this is very much in line with Mahatma Gandhi's philosophy.
Yeah.
And we are inspired by Gandhi. As you could see in our compound here, you're one bust of Gandhi. We have a Mother Teresa on the other side. And Gandhi, there's one thing which has always guided me in my mission, public life, is that Gandhi says, the greatness of a country is measured by how it treats the weakest members in society, those who are vulnerable.
Yep.
Very good.
You know, and it's our duty to do it. And the more we get, the more it's important for us to give back.
Exactly.
And this is very much Indian philosophy, you know, years back. And the more important thing is, you know, when Prime Minister Modi is hosting the G20, the motto, the principle of which is being done is Vasudeva Kutumbakam. The whole world is one family. And India has always demonstrated this, you know, on many occasions, but more particularly during the COVID catastrophe.
Yeah.
You know, during that period, he didn't only made medicine for Indians, already had more than 1.3 billion people, but he did share the vaccine with other countries, you know, and donate even to Mauritius and so on. So what I'm trying to say that this is probably in the ethos, you know, in the DNA of India.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you have to care for others. You know, you have to serve others. And that's very important. I would just like to add second point, Beejaye and Mr. Sarad. I was also very happy and touched, you know, when I created the Global Rainbow Foundation India, because my vision is to give back to Mauritius, but also the land of my forefathers. I felt a debt of gratitude to them. You know, at times we don't realize how our ancestors left their own country to come to Mauritius. And when they came here, they were used to say that when you come here, you'll make money, you'll be rich, you'll get everything, you know. There was an anecdote that when you come, were told, when you come to Mauritius, you turn rocks, you'll find gold. Yeah. But here they had to break those rocks in the strong sun, you know, and they sacrificed a lot. They were really very much, I would say, it was more like, almost like slavery. In many cases, you know, for the indentured laborers and as slaves, you know. So, but what was important is that our ancestors struggled hard. If I'm here today, I'm grateful to my great-grandfather who came here, you know, sacrifice. But most importantly, he bought land and left it for us. Yeah. We've inherited whatever he's done. Yeah. So that should be more than a reason for us to give back to the land of our forefathers also, whatever we get. Absolutely. And this is the reason why I created Global Rainbow Foundation. And you know, the first person I met in India, when I visited India on this mission, was to think of Mr. Ramchurn Kumar Baranwal, right? Who was a former MD in Mauritius, and he still kept that link with Mauritius. And he's also now the director of HR, and also chairman Indian Oil Mauritius. Probably
he was here.
He has been a change probably. But at least he was very connected with that. And when I met him in Delhi, I asked for an appointment to see me. And you know, I could sense the same sort of values that Mr. Sarad just mentioned to us. He opened his arms and said, for your project in India, once you're ready, come, Indian Oil will accompany you. So you see, this is the sort of thing which makes it special. Yeah. And the other incident, the other fortune for us. But briefly, let me say that Indian Oil, our partnership started as early as 2015. You know, 2013, we organized the first medical camp. We gave 150 amputees, right? Then we had the second camp. And for the third camp, Indian Oil sponsored the total camp for 130 amputees. To the tune of 1.5 million, you know, and so we could offer to all these people free artificial limbs, and you know, this gave them a lot of happiness, a lot of joy, and that was the beginning. And then you continue to support us every year with CSR funding for prosthesis. But more interestingly, in 2018, when I paid a visit to the then managing director, you know. When I met him, he told me, you are doing so many things for the amputees, But after they got the limbs, after 1 or 2 years, they need maintenance. These people have to come all the way to you for maintenance. What if I give you a lorry? That was that was a brilliant idea, very unique also. We are the only one having a mobile maintenance unit. And so he sponsored the big lorry, you know, which is an icon for Global Rainbow Foundation. And with that lorry was sponsored by Indian Oil, plus some other partners who joined in. But the main support was from Indian Oil. And this lorry, since 2018, has been going around. You could see it in the backdrop.
Yeah, that's exactly where.
But it's been going around the country, right? And what we do now, every month almost, we go to a particular region of Mauritius, across the country. So we go to a particular region and invite those amputees who have benefited from prosthesis to come to us, where we'll check their prosthesis and do maintenance on the spot. And the lorry is so well equipped with all the gadget that it needs, and the equipment inside the lorry were donated by Mr. D.R. Mehta, founder of BMVSS, as a gesture, And so you could see, when you see the lorry, you will see how practical and convenient it is. So I'm very happy. That was a very major, contribution to our service, because, and that again, what the idea was, we should be close to the people, go to them.
Rather than they coming to us.
It's more calling them here.
Absolutely.
I think that's what the outreach is all about, going to them instead of coming to us.
And also, if I may add, Vijay, in addition to the mobile truck, we have now acquired 2 adapted vans. Right? And one is sponsored by LIC and New India Assurance and ABC Motors, and another one. So what we do, when amputees or people with physical disability have to come to us here, if they have transport problem, it's difficult for them. So we send the adapted van, take them with a wheelchair, they go inside comfortably, come here, and then we send them back home. So you could see that this is the concept now, that go to the people who can't come to you and serve them. Vijay, I think I've covered that point.
Absolutely. As I said, it's aligned in terms of values. It's aligned within the stars. We name it whatever it is, but I think we have a lot of things in common. And at the end of the day, both of the organizations, we're working towards the benefit of the community, benefit of the society, and I think it's something that having more of a value to the community, to the society, that we are bringing on board. Now, coming back to the various activities and the various collaborations that we have with Indian Oil. There is the Jaipur Foot, which is the topic of today, and also the event that is coming on next week as well, that we're going to talk about. So you've visited the Jaipur Foot department few weeks back. You mentioned
and with the family.
With the family, yes. Yeah. And it has been operating since 2013, so that's the 10 years, and that's exactly the culmination of the event that we're organizing on next Monday at the Vale filling station, that we're going to have the anniversary and also the launch Jaipur Foot clinics. Jaipur Foot from BMVSS, Bhagwan Mahavir Viklang Sahayya Samiti back in India, and there is a very profound collaboration with Global Rainbow Foundation. We have a department which is named Jaipur Foot as well here. As I said, set up back in 2013. We have a small clip that I have got from the BMVSS itself. So I would like to ask the technical team if we can play the second video, which is about the BMVSS. So we'll have a broad idea of what they do, and also some very poignant views from the participants.
मेरा एक्सीडेंट होने के बाद में यहाँ पे आया। दिल्ली में मेरा एक्सीडेंट हुआ था। वहाँ से एक्सीडेंट में किसी ने मेरे को बताया पैर लगाने के लिए तो फिर जयपुर चले जाओ, वहाँ फ्री में पैर लगता है। वहाँ पे आपको भगवान महावीर विकलांग समिति के अंदर पैर लगेगा और आप चल फिर पाओगे और आप काम भी कर पाओगे। उसके बाद में पैर लगाने के बाद में यहीं मेरे को जॉब मिली। 16-17 सालों से यही पैर लगा सबके। मेरे जैसे जितने भी आते थे आज मैं पैर लगा के देता हूँ, खुश होके जाते हैं। जाने के बाद में ये कहते हैं यार भाई साहब आपने तो हमारी ज़िंदगी बदल दी। गाँव जाते हैं घर वाले भी खुश हो जाते हैं, कहते हैं कि पैर लगा के आगे। पैर कटाई कब था? पैर नकली है पर पैर कटाई नहीं था, अच्छा चल अच्छा काम कर रहा है, फिर क्या दिक्कत है? आज मेरी अंदर की आत्मा भी यही कहती है कि अंदर से बोलती है कि यार मैंने बहुत बढ़िया काम करा, पैर लगाता हूँ दुनिया के, अपना कमाते अपना खाते बातें हेल्प किसी की नहीं लेती है, बहुत बड़ी बात। हमारा काम पैर लगाना ही नहीं, उसको चलाना फिराना भी है, भागना दौड़ना भी करवाना है। खुद भागते दौड़ते खेलते कूदते रहते हैं। विकलांग हो गए तो ये मत सोचो कि आत्मा से भी विकलांग हो गए, पैरों से ही विकलांग है, हाथ तो सही सलामत है। काम करो, काम करोगे दुनिया के अंदर सक्सेस होगा। काम नहीं करोगे तो आपको दुनिया के काम धंधा करता नहीं।
We are a social organization and our first focus is on the most needy, most poor. Most of the people who lives were poor and became poorer. Now to ask them to pay us even partial amount is virtually telling them that since they don't have the money they should get out. Then we cease to be a social organization. But it also required a lot of risk taking. Believe me, last 43 years, not on a single day, we have closed the institution. People supported us. People say, how are you surviving? How are you sustainable? We are sustainable because we don't charge. We have 66 camps in 29 countries of the world. And it has generated so much of goodwill for India, you can't believe. Wherever we go, we are welcome. Even in Pakistan, where I went recently, where we set up a center along with one local organization, which has fed in 20,000 limbs by now. Job watching people who come full of sorrow and will walk out after getting them all smiles. This joy is unlimited and this joy is priceless. So remember always, the cure gets more than the receiver. The whole idea is, can we create this kind of situation where people have their status, people regain their dignity.
Welcome back to the studios. We are still with Professor Armoogum Parsuramen, founder, president, Global Oil Foundation, and the managing director of Indian Oil Mauritius Limited, Mr. Sarad Kumar Baranwal. Before we go on the video clip we just viewed about the BMVSS, the Bhagwan Mahavir Viklang Sahayta Samiti, which englobes the Jaipur Foot as well. Mr. Sarad was talking to me a little bit about Indian Oil. So you would like to add a little bit more about the activities and the initiatives that you have from the Indian Oil.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Vijay. I would like to just give a brief about our operations.
Yes,
here.
please.
See, our tagline is, first I would like to tell you, our tagline is energizing Mauritius.
Yes.
So we want to provide energy in whatever form is required at Mauritius. So that's our motto. And with that, we are the preferred fuel provider for all aviation lines. and we are we take proud in saying that we are the national carrier here in Mauritius. We are the sole fuel supplier for them.
Oh, that's great.
Similarly, for the national bus carrier, that's NTC.
And yes, NTC.
We are the sole fuel supplier for them. If you talk about bunkering, that's the ships calling on Mauritius. So we provide fuel to them, as well as we have a barge also. So if the ships are not able to come to the port, our barge goes to the anchorage and provides fuels. So basically, Indian Oil tries to be present in all form of energy. So, and other than this, if you talk about retail, so retail is like opening a filling station is a bit challenging here, because we are the latest entrant. All other companies are present
Already
here for
set
more
up,
than 100 years.
Yeah.
And we are just 21-year-old
Yes.
young company, I'll say. So there is just some disadvantage on availability of the sites, but still we are growing fast, and we are, last year we commissioned our 30th filling station at 𝗬𝗽𝗻 at M3.
That's close to me where I live.
Oh, great, great, great. And you must be thankful to Indian Oil, because
Yes,
there
I
were
am.
no other retail outlet in that
Absolutely.
vicinity on that
Yes.
side.
Yeah.
And now we are going to come up with a new retail outlet. It's going to be commissioned, I think, by next month at 𝗪𝗲𝗺 on Kwasti Militia Road.
Yes.
So that's our latest addition. So that will be our 31st hour. But we do have many other projects also in pipeline. So at least 10 filling station project approvals are under process at various stages. Then we also are trying to work on renewables, like we are trying to look for opportunity for providing EV charging station. As of now, the number of EV vehicles are very less at the island, but we are going to provide that facility also at our filling stations, so that even if EV cars come to our outlet, it should not be told that we don't have your facility. So that is also going to be added. Then we are also trying to put solars at most of the filling stations, so that
Green.
there is less carbon emission, at least at the filling station at our installation.
That aligns
also.
with your other initiatives, the green initiative.
Green initiative, basically environment protection. So all these things, simultaneously we are working in all fields. So that's, I think, about commercial aspects about Indian Oil. And
Excellent.
we are the first one thing which I want to say, that we are really thankful to people of Mauritius, as well as government of Mauritius, because even in this short span of 21 years, we have been impressed so well by them, that we don't feel that we are having any disadvantage of coming late.
Yeah.
So we are really thankful to the people of Mauritius for embracing Indian Oil Mauritius as one of its own and patronizing our filling station. And we also have a very good global brand of lubricants here, that is called 𝗪𝗲. That's a global brand. And that's also being sold at most of we are present in automotive lubricants, industrial lubricants, as well as marine lubricants.
Yeah.
So those things also we market here. So these are the few aspects of our commercial operations.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Sarad. I'm sure I mentioned the two other initiatives that you have, apart from your commercial activities that you do, which are the green and the social activities that you're engaged in. We will have time to get to the social activities during the program. We have approximately 1 hour to go with the program as well. Coming back to the video that we viewed earlier in terms of Jaipur Foot, I would like to have the views of Professor Parsuramen. Back in 2013, you had this vision, as you usually have, to go and see what we can bring to the locals, to the community, and see how we can help them. So tell me a little bit about how you went about with Jaipur Foot, the whys, And we've seen on the statistics 1.7, and I see on the updated website, it's more than 2 million people now that they have already serviced, taking into account what we also do locally here. So could you just please elaborate a little bit about how you went about getting the collaboration with Jaipur Foot, and then we'll see the link with Jaipur, BMVSS, and of course Indian Oil during the conversation that we have. So please.
Thank you, Beejaye. Well, when I launched the Global Rainbow Foundation, I had in my mind, it was something I would say which was not planned in advance like that. It came naturally. There was some intuition. And I always say it, when you have deep faith in God, whatever you do, He will take you in the right direction. And so when I launched the foundation, I was thinking about which group of people I will serve. And immediately came to my mind with my own experience globally that the people who are the most vulnerable are people with disability. If you don't fight for their rights, if you don't give them the support that they need, that they are entitled to, because every citizen is equal rights. Just like we care for all other children or members of the society, we give them all the facility for education, for health, and so on, but a person with disability also has equal right. So that was the foundation. And I was member of parliament in this constituency here in 𝗪𝗲𝗺𝗺. And I know one of my very good friend and agent, who had been amputated. When I came back to Mauritius, I heard of this. So I went and visited him. When I saw him, he was amputated above knee. He had a prosthesis, but he had put the prosthesis aside. I said, why? It said, it pains me. It hurts me. It's heavy. So then I realized, since I worked in Delhi for 2 years as director of UNESCO, I had contact with Jaipur Foot, already. So that came to my mind immediately. So you see, it's not something that I'd sat down and planned to happen. You are given the direction where to go when you have to do something. And so I went to Jaipur Foot, with Mr. 𝗬𝗲𝗻𝗃, see what they are doing there, negotiated with them about how can we do something in Mauritius, and I get an overwhelming support. Mr. Mehta is a man of great heart, great humanitarian, and so he spontaneously said, yes, we'll come to Mauritius. And that was the first camp took place in 2013. We had some challenges. I won't go into the challenges because it's the past now. But with, again, blessings of God, we could run the camp successfully. And I would like to share one story which is very dear to me. When I went to Jaipur to negotiate with BMVSS, wherever I go in India, I always look for a temple first. So I went to a Ganesha temple in Jaipur. This Ganesha temple is unique. The Ganesha is as big as an elephant, And there's a story behind it. But coming to the temple itself, I did my prayer there, went and negotiated, succeeded in my negotiation, and then I got a call as if I have to bring a replica of that Ganesha to Mauritius. And I did get a sculptor to do a marble Ganesha, which is in our yard now, you see. And that Ganesha came along with the first materials for the first camp in the same cargo. So it was there as if to supervise.
As the blessings, blessings coming along.
And when it came down, the first camp we had was in Puerto Sab Recreational Center. And the first camp, before we started at 4 in the morning, we consecrated the Ganesha. And I was confident that everything will go well, So these have been now, you see, 10 years, right? And it has always allowed us to move on. Now we have given 2,500 amputees limbs, be it below knee, above knee, hand prosthesis, and so on. And Mauritius, Seychelles, we have given to Comoros, to Senegal, So we have been able to do all that just because of this. And therefore, this collaboration with BMVSS was wonderful. And that enabled us to do quite a lot of things till date. And the collaboration, it still goes on. And that's why when we were going, this year being 10 years, from when we did the first limb, and we wanted to celebrate it. And Beejaye, what I did when I had this in mind, when Mr. Sarad Kumar Baranwal came to Mauritius, I visited him and I told him this project, that we are celebrating our 10th anniversary of the implantation of Jaipur Foot Mauritius, right? And we'd be very, very happy, Indian Oil being a very close partner with us, and with a lorry that you gave us, we want to go across the island with a lorry, provide free maintenance, and in some cases, limbs to amputees across the island. You know, and that's the project we are having, which will be launched on Monday
14th.
And it will be launched at the first station in Vale. We are honored that the President of the Republic has agreed to grace to be our chief guest, along with the Indian High Commissioner and Mr. Sarad Kumar himself will be there, and we are going to launch this campaign of providing free maintenance to amputees across the island during the course of this year, with a frequency of one camp every month in one different region.
Just to continue from what Dr. Parsuramen is saying, that Indian Oil has got its filling station across length and breadth of the island. So this idea came that we can have these camps at various parts of the island. So we just suggested that we have got our filling station or even in the remotest part of the island, where you have that habitation and you have the people, beneficiaries over there. So jointly it was then decided that let's have these camps, one in a month at one of the filling stations of Indian Oil, and it started, as rightly pointed out by him, we are going to start at Vale at North, and being it's a great honor that Honorable President of Republic of Mauritius has consented to be the chief guest in that function.
Absolutely. We're definitely looking forward to the event that's happening next Monday. As mentioned by Professor Parsuramen, yes, we will be having as chief guest the President of the Republic of Mauritius, also the Her Excellency, the Ambassador of India here as well. Amongst you, Mr. Sarad, as well as being one of our main guests. You are, you're the host. You're our partner at the end of the day. So coming back to Indian Oil, Mr. Sarad, is talking about social activities. Yes, you are a privileged partner for Global Rainbow Foundation. It's the same way on the other side as well. But you also do many other social activities with other NGOs as well. But I think it's a good platform that we also talk about a little bit in terms of what are the activities that you do in general for the society.
Yeah, you very rightly pointed out, Mr. Vijay, that yes, we have got a very strong association with GRF, but we also found that this is not the one field where we should do contribution. So we were looking for various other opportunities in other fields. So we have found after our initial scanning or initial survey that many good agencies are there who are doing wonderful work for the society. So few of them like SOS Village, near Flick and Flag. So there we have been one of the very, we have been associating with them from the very beginning when we came here. And similarly, they are called SEDEM. That's also in the field of education.
Yes, education.
So there also we are a very active partner with them. And around 2 months back, I was there, and the kids, along with their teacher, means these kids are basically less privileged kids.
Yes, they are.
Okay, and but I could see the happiness, and will you believe they performed an act for all of us, and we thoroughly enjoyed it. Means we again went with our family, and there were tears in among all the family members. No, including not only us. So we found that these agencies are doing such a wonderful work in uplifting the society that how we cannot be partner with them. It's something like this. So SEDEM was one of them. Then there is 𝗪𝗇, which is working for the blind people. So there also we are associating continuously. There is also one more agency is 𝗪𝗲𝗯𝗧𝗪. So they are also working for the blinds. So there also we are contributing time and again. Then we have been, for environmental impact, we have been associating with a few agencies. Like there's a group called Women, I think Wonder Woman. No, Women of Wonder. Okay. Wonder Woman is a movie, I think. So Women of Wonder. So they are doing some activities. So we are like beach cleaning, and there was some activity even with the Ministry of Environment. Where we not only through CSR, means if the opportunity exists, we go even through sponsorship mode also to contribute. So then there's a Gandhian Basic School. So there also there we provided the solar system for green energy.
All with the green space. That
this green space as well as the beneficiary social this thing. So both things are happening. If you talk about sports, then we have been trying to promote kabaddi at this island. Okay, so there's a club called 𝗪𝗧𝗧 Kabaddi Club, and we have been sponsoring that event for a very long time. So that this is one event where you don't need anything. You just need people, and they can play. Okay, and it's a very...
And explain the rules probably, because it's not that common here.
It's not. So that's also we are trying to promote here. Then there are some different clubs for saucer, cricket. So there we are involved. We have been, like last time there was CGSY games here. So we were one of the sponsors of that event also. Then there are Commonwealth Games were there, so we were responsible. So I'm just trying to say
lot of activities.
So wherever we get an opportunity and we find that there is a value in it and money is going into the right direction, it's really helping the people to uplift their standards of living, and their so we do contribute, and we not, as I was saying, we not only look for the contribution, then we visit them, and we also try to understand that how they are working, and how effective these agencies are, and really appreciable that everywhere, wherever we went, we were really overwhelmed with the function, the way they function, and the way they are trying to operate the society.
So, excellent. From the first words when you mentioned in give back, I think this goes to show effectively how Indian Oil is actually actively participating within the society, the civil society, within the communities. It's Professor Parsuramen mentioned. It's just not the bottom line numbers that we are talking. We're also talking about the people, the societies where you are present, and I have no doubt. I don't know about the other countries where you are present. I know India, I know Mauritius here, but I'm sure it is of the same impact that you're bringing to the society in the other countries, in the other territories where you're present, as you're a global company as well. Coming back to Professor Parsuramen, we have a video clip of the various activities that we have jointly done with Indian Oil and Global Ramchurn Foundation. I'm going to come to that in just a few seconds, but before we go there, I wanted to have the views of Professor Parsuramen or his experience about it. How is it, or how important it is for societies, for organizations, private organizations like Indian Oil, touching the lives of people via NGOs like Global Ramchurn Foundation, not only looking about the financial aspects of the things, but touching the lives itself of the people. The give back is there, yes, definitely, but how do you see the collaboration in the near future and in the distant future with organizations like Global Ramchurn Foundation being nurtured? Because we're not only talking about the fact that, yes, things are being done here on a project basis. This is going to be done within the next 3 months, 4 months. We mentioned the various filling stations where you're going to collaborate and have activities done. So how far we are looking at, and how that would benefit the society at large?
You know, Global Rainbow Foundation, we always respond to the needs of the vulnerable group. You know, being in touch with them. You know, I can tell you, Beejaye, every day I receive so many calls. from various personalities, various region of Mauritius, and they have this problem. Yesterday, a member of parliament called me that one person in his constituency with a very modest family, you know, has been amputed, and he desperately looked for a wheelchair. You see, there was a former president of the republic who called me once, said my teacher when I was in secondary school or in primary school is almost going to celebrate his 100th anniversary, and he's been looking for a wheelchair because now he needs that, you know. And the next day I sent one for him. So what I'm trying to say, and the thing which comes to my mind now is when we did the first medical camp to offer limbs, the person who got the limb, right, when he got his limb, first one to get it, on the 24th of December, as he walked with his limb, you know, walked towards us, you know, to show that he can.
Yeah, he can use.
He came to me, his eyes were full of tears of joy. Said, "You've given me a Christmas gift. You know, for 6 years I was immobile. Now you." So that's for me is more than anything, you know. When we have that 15 months old boy from Seychelles, 15 months old had to be amputed because of childbirth deformity. After undergoing amputation, looking desperately for a limb, the mother couldn't find any. She was directed to Global Rainbow Foundation. We hesitated, but then when she said, "This is you are my last hope," we gave the boy, 11 months old, his limb. You will see him.
Yeah, we'll see him in the video right now.
That's the joy that we have. You know, that boy today is growing up, is playing football, is studying, doing anything. So that's the sort of thing which is very important, you know, for us. And therefore, I believe this is what motivates us. This is what drives not only me, but I would say all my staff. You know, we are recognized for the service that we offer, the care. You know, right now when we are talking today, a private company has requested our team to come and do a medical camp for them. They are there today for that purpose.
So for 2 days, yesterday and today, for 2 days.
You know, so these are the things which, and we've been able, you know, our rehabilitation center has been accredited with ISO.
Yeah, ISO.
ISO certificate. You know, which is remarkable for an NGO. We are the only one, I think.
Yes, we are.
So you could see all these are. It's the philosophy, the service that we provide. We do it with the heart, and that's the thing which is important.
And I think to add to what Professor Parsuramen is saying, me being one of the person living the things that he's saying is, without the collaboration, without the partnership with organizations like Indian Oil and you, Mr. Sarad, believing in those values as well, it's very difficult for us to achieve the things that Professor Parsuramen mentioned, and to experience those tears of joy that these people experience themselves after years and years of not being able to do something that they so cherish to do. So having said this, I would like now to have our second clip, and I think it's a very important clip, I have to say, because this is just a summary of the various joys, the various happiness that the collaboration between GRF and Indian Oil Mauritius has brought on the island. And I think when you will see the short clip, it's around 6 minutes, I think, that we're going to say it, you will see the various faces of joy that probably you didn't think about, that you've brought about. And I think it's very important for us to watch that. So technical team, please, can we have the clip? Thank you. to the clip in a few seconds. With we have a short technical issue with the clip, but I'm sure we'll have the video. Am I right? Yes, we will have. To come back to the event of Monday, next Monday, sir. As we said, we're going to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Jaipur Foot in Mauritius here, and also the ongoing collaboration with Indian Oil or Mauritius, and that's why we're also having the event at the Vale filling station on next Monday, which is the 14th. Would be good if you could just give us a little brief about what people can expect that's happening. Are we going to have only a ceremonious event, or is it going to be ceremonious event plus some activities in terms of medical things that we're going to give, in terms of the facilities? Would there be any checkups like we usually do in the various medical camps, Mr. Parsuramen?
We want to mark this launch and subsequent medical camp at Indian Oil stations across the island, with not only the maintenance of the limb, but those people who have come, provide to them some medical checkup and assistance if necessary. You know, see, they're coming all the way for that. And the maintenance of the limb will be free because Indian Oil is sponsoring it for us.
Absolutely.
That's the idea. And the 10th anniversary, you know, we want to give a gift to them. And we have, that's why we chose 10th anniversary. We are going to have 10 medical camps, you know, in 10 petrol stations across the island. We want to mark this day. 10 is very important. Yeah, you know, so therefore that's the point. And so there will be some medical service on that occasion, you know, and we are going also to offer 2 amputees new limb.
That's great.
We have arranged that to mark the occasion, you know, and in addition doing the maintenance for the others.
Okay, so there's the usual medical camp as well, which is going to happen after the ceremony.
No, it's not the usual. This one is specific.
Specific one.
Mostly maintenance.
Okay.
And probably 1 or 2 person who need limb, who have contact will on that day will give them the limb to mark the occasion. But there will be medical, not a complete medical, but a medical checkup as appropriate for the amputees.
So it's specific to the
you know,
to the
we focus on these people because the purpose is to give them. You know, whereas our medical camp, when we go, we open it more.
Exactly.
This one, because we have 2,500 amputees, and we can, for one day, we can do some 20 or, you know, 15 to 20 maintenance and repairs. So we're going to work along this frame. Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm informed. Thank you, Professor Parsuramen. So I'm informed by the technical team. I think we have the clip. So I would please, can we please have the video? So, Mr. Sarad, you've just viewed the short clip of, I know there have been many other activities that we've done, but we just can't summarize all of them into a clip of 5-6 minutes. That just goes to show how important the relationship and the partnership has been. How do you feel after watching that kid of 15-month-old coming down here, getting the prosthesis, and at the end of the clip you could see he was kicking the ball around? How do you feel about that? That's contribution.
Frankly speaking, I don't have words to explain how I feel like currently. It's really very the efforts this organization GRF is making in uplifting the lives, making them movable. Those things are really appreciable. Appreciate is a very small word, I'll say. Right.
But I think it's a two-way. Just to add to what you're saying, I think it's on the both ways. And Professor Parsuramen, you experienced that on a daily basis for the past 11-12 years now that you are with Global Rainbow Foundation. I have one particular question for you, and maybe it's applied to Mr. Sarad as well. We've talked about the collaboration. We've talked about the partnership. We've talked about the projects you've worked together, the projects you've been collaborating together, and you've just summed up a little bit of the things that you do. What about the future? We know that there are things happening within the filling stations, but any other collaborative relationship in place? Any other thing that you're planning to do with? Along with Global Rainbow Foundation, I don't know if Professor Parsuramen has some views about what things you have put in place, except from the medical camps that you're organizing.
Very often, Beejaye, we don't plan. It happens.
Yes, that's
when
when the hearts meet,
yeah.
It comes. But one thing I have in mind, listening to you talking about what you're doing in Mauritius in terms of CSR funding. The solar system is something interesting, you know, and we at Global Rainbow Foundation, being a charitable trust, you know, our electricity bill is quite high, you know. Yeah. So I think a solar system for electricity at least is something that could be thought of in the future. You know, that's one thought I have. In addition to our traditional collaboration, you know. But those collaborations you made already, the lives that you've touched,
absolutely,
those people you've given gift of mobility, and you've seen in the video the various steps, thing we've done together, and you can be assured that Indian Oil sponsored lorry, proudly sponsored by Indian Oil, will go around the island. Yeah. Therefore, you are present. Yeah. Wherever we go, you are there, right? And we would like to consolidate this partnership in our collaboration. We'll always remember you because what you've given us is daily, you know, supporting the cause. So that's something lasting, right? So we are very grateful for that. And as I said, one thing which comes to my mind now is about this solar system for our foundation here, and that could be something which could be useful. And so, and I would say consolidating further our collaboration in ways, and we'll find ways and means how to do it so that it is more visible also, you know, and the camp will be one occasion, but I'm sure there'll be other occasions, like on our GRF WebTV, we also have some advertisement from companies that support us, you know. So I would very much welcome, we'll organize so that we can have a clip that could show our collaboration with Indian Oil, you know, as part of its CSR, of its service to humanity. Yeah. This is what I find for the time being, Beejaye. But other things, you know, will, when it evolves, when it happens, we'll discuss.
Absolutely. Mr. Sarad, before we conclude with the program for today, I would like to reiterate what I started off with when I started the program is NGOs and the civil society cannot do all by themselves, and the collaborative aspect of NGOs is of utmost importance. And once again, we thank Indian Oil for being such a lovely partner for all these years with us. on a concluding remarks, anything that you would like to add for Global Rainbow Foundation and the civil society in general about your activities and the things that you do for the society?
Thank you, Mr. Vijay. First, I would like to congratulate Global Rainbow Foundation and Dr. Parsuramen in particular that they have been, the 10-year journey has been wonderful, and we have been associated for the last 8 years. And in most of the years, we were associated with GRF. So you can very well see that our, as I was saying earlier also, that our values match. So, and whenever such opportunities come, even in future, we stand committed that we will try to partner, we will try to collaborate with Global Rainbow Foundation, even in future endeavors. And the things where we would be contributing, you were saying that it's not pre-decided thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? You don't. There are many things which come up we don't even think of. Okay, so what new methods can come up for treating people? So those things, whenever such opportunity comes, we will be open with the open heart and open with our wallet also to help such endeavors. So, and at the same time, we also will be contributing to the society at large with other organizations as well, who are doing wonderful work in the field of this thing.
Sure.
And at the last, I would like to thank both first government of Mauritius, that we have such an uninterrupted operation for last 21 years, and we have been recognized at every nook and corner. When I'm traveling, I'm just saying that I'm a officer from Indian Oil Mauritius, so I don't need another introduction. So that's why this company has been spreading its wing and been very well embraced by the people here, and very well supported by the government in our expansion, by government and it's all its ministry, and also by High Commission of India. Basically, this company was formed as a G2G basis, government to government company, and it had really progressed well. This is a true what else example of partnering of India with Mauritius. That we are able to flourish because the relationships are flourishing. So with that, I will thank both of you, Mr. Vijay and Dr. Parsuramen, for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure having you, Mr. Sarad and Professor Parsuramen. Before I close the session for today, I have a few comments that as we've been live on Facebook and other social media platforms, we have certain comments that have come from our viewers. I'll take the first one, which is from a person we know everyone knows about, is Mr. 𝗪𝗯𝗧𝗃, who is our colleague who hosts the programs as well. He says, heartily thanks to Indian Oil for their support and collaboration. I have Mr. Ashwin Gudai, who is another colleague of us. Well done to all parties, GRF and Indian Oil. Then I have the latest message I'm getting here is from someone called 𝗪𝗯𝗧𝗃. Thanks to GRF, Brandon, the young 5-year-old, he's 5 years old, is able to live life to the fullest. Keep up the good work, GRF, and hopefully in the future, many other benefit from the various services offered by GRF. Congratulations to Indian Oil to support the noble cause of GRF. I think we've really had a very good program today when we get these types of comments. Thank you everyone for your comments. Thank you to all the viewers that have been with us since this morning. Once again, a very heartily thanks to Mr. Sarad Kumar Baranwal and Professor Armoogum Parsuramen, our very own founder and CEO of Global Rainbow Foundation. For me, Beejaye, Ramchurn, I would see you most probably next week with another program. It was a special program for today, so I'll see you next Wednesday or Thursday if we have another session for the program. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.